Well, hello, ladies. Inga Faye here. Super excited to be here with you today and wanted to share my thoughts about active as well as passive lead gen methods. This was heavy on my heart, especially since I've been in several fitting calls the last couple of weeks, and this seems to be a topic of discussion with some of the prospects and clients that I have. Come in contact with. So I wanted to bring this to your attention just to kind of make you more aware of it and see how you can take more control of it so you can be more control of your business narrative. So in this video, I am going to talk to you about what kind of lead generation is considered to be active. Then I also will share with you what kind of lead generation methods would be a passive. And then last but definitely not least, I will share the importance of having both in your lead generation strategy. So let's do this, shall we? All right, so let's talk about passive lead generation. I'm going to do this one first because this to me seems to be the one that most folks, when they're first starting off in their business, seem to be doing. And they are not very happy with the results that they're getting with this particular lead gen, which leads to them wanting to do more active first. So the passive lead generation that I am thinking of that often people tell me that they're doing when they first start off is first and foremost word of mouth. So word of mouth is somebody else telling someone else about what you do and how you do it. Now, the thing about this, why is it passive? It's passive because you are not in control of this type of lead generation. You're waiting for someone else to tell someone else about you. You're waiting for someone else to even think about you to tell somebody else about you. And just know that as humans, we ain't think about nobody else but ourselves, right? So when you're relying on this type of lead generation only, this can really be a detriment to your business because you have no control over it, girlfriend. So it's very imperative that you make it a point to be more in control of your business narrative. So what kind of lead generation am I talking about? First and foremost, girlfriend, social media, because you have no control over who is seeing your posts. You got this algorithm that is showing your post to people. And even when they're in a group, they don't necessarily go looking for it they don't necessarily see it unless they go looking for it. So it's very imperative that you don't primarily rely on social media to get the leads that you want to come into your business. Now, why do people often do this way? One, I find out that they typically don't know who their target market is. So, in an effort to serve everybody, and you guys know what I'm going to say, they serve no one. And they're hoping that some quote or some message that they've put on their social media is going to attract the person that they're looking for. But I'm telling you that you're going to get more people scrolling through your stuff than actually commenting or liking your information that you share. So it's very imperative that you know who you're looking for and then go out and get them. And I'm going to share exactly how to do that when we talk about the active lead generation. So word of mouth is definitely a pass. I'm sorry. Social media is definitely a passive way to get get leads. The next one I wanted to talk to you about is word of mouth, aka referrals. Now, I've had many people tell me that their referrals have dried up. They go to networking meetings, they interact with people, and because they're interacting with people and having that interaction with them, sometimes they come to mind when they're thinking of somebody else. But again, it really becomes imperative for the referral method to really work for you is you got to know who you're looking for. So again, it comes down to knowing who your target market is. So you can say, I'm looking for women that have preschool kids to help them with homeschooling, if that's what you're doing. I'm just using that as an example. But when you say things like that, instantly somebody comes to mind when people hear that because they're going through their mental Rolodex and they're thinking about, oh, Susie Q, is a mom and she has she has toddler kids, so that would be who Inga's looking for. But if you don't, if you say things like everybody, I can help everybody. I help men and women. Nobody comes to mind when you say I help everybody. You got to be specific about who you're looking for and really be able to identify them so you can tell others about them. So then someone can actually refer you to them. But in the meantime, in between time, I don't want you to completely rely on this method of lead gen either, because it is slow. And if it dries up, you're going to be out of luck. Okay. You got to have multiple sources of lead gen. So we talked about the social media. We talked about the word of mouth, AKA the referrals, which both are passive methods of finding leads. So I'm sure you're asking, well, girl, what is an active way of finding leads? Well, why? I'm so glad you asked. An active way to find leads is direct outreach. Now, I know that you may think direct outreach is not the way to go, but I can tell you when it comes down to really honing in and really converting the people that you want to convert in the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey, and after you know exactly who you're looking for, direct outreach is all of that in a bag of chips, girlfriend. Why? Because you know, first and foremost, you are in control of the effort. Okay. That's the first thing. You are in control. You're not waiting for somebody to do something. You are taking the initiative to go out and find the people that you want to serve in your business. Okay. So that's number one. Know that from the beginning. That is why it's so powerful for direct outreach. And that's why I love it when it comes to that, because you are in control. Secondly, when it's done in a right way, you can then be able to filter versus convince the people that you want. I was talking to a prospect today, and she's very passionate about the things that she does, centered around health and wellness. But the thing about it is that she's so passionate about it that she's giving her value for free. And people that she's serving, she's helping, and they're just keep coming back to her to talk to her to get the free stuff, but she's not charging anyone for her expertise or her value. Now, does that mean that every time you talk to somebody, you got to get paid? No. I'm all about giving people value. But repeatedly, I mean, because you got bills to pay just like they do, right? So you want to make it a point to provide that initial value, but then be able to set a standard or a precedent to let them know, granted, I want to help you. I'm going to give you this golden nugget today. But if you want to continue to learn from me and benefit from the value that I provide, then the next step would be, maybe you have a DIY course, maybe you have some kind of group coaching course, maybe you have something that's one-on-one, but you have a value ladder for the next step. You're going to give them what the next step would be, depending on how much they're willing to invest. And you got to have a value ladder that allows you to provide some done for you opportunities, done with you opportunities, or done do it yourself opportunities. But again, you're going to have to decide what that is and be able to tell them what the next step is. So that's often what I see is people give away so much free stuff because they haven't established what the next step is. So they just keep giving it away free. So when you have this direct outreach, you can go out and find who you want to find. After you have that value ladder of value that you give, and then allow the person to decide where they want to interact with you. Do they want to interact with you on a DIY basis? Do they want to interact with you on a done with you, a DWY? If you have a done for you service, do they want to interact with you on a done for you type of service? But I know if you're providing that type of service, that's going to be your top tier. That's going to be your top dollar service. You're not doing that for free at all. So make sure that you have a general idea of who you want to serve. And I've shared with you guys over and over again that that's why I love my survey system, because it allows you to be able to do that. You can do that from a B2B point of view or a B2C point of view, where you're actually filtering people out more so than convincing them that your product or service is what they should invest in to get them to their desired promised land. You are taking control over getting the market research and then finding out, even if your preconceived notions are correct, because we all are going to have some kind of hypothesis coming out initially. And then when we're doing this market research through the surveys, we're actually finding out if what we predicted that we have, our educated guess, is really what our clients want. And then after we find out what they want, what do? We give it to them by creating some kind of course or kind of program or some kind of mastermind that will help them get to their desired promised land with the strategies and the methodologies that we've put together through our own personal experience. So that's what it comes down to. So you have the passive way of getting leads, like we talked about social media and we talked about referrals, and then you have the direct way of getting leads. And how can you be direct? This could be via a call, this could be via a DM message, this could be via a email, but it's directly going into the inbox of the person that you're looking to connect with. Now, does that mean everyone you connect with is going to want to connect with you? No, ma'am. You're probably going to get anywhere from 20 to 30% of those folks that you are reaching out to that are actually interact with you, which is fine. But when you know that kind of information, then you can then know what type of activity you want to do to get to your desired income and work it that way. So when it comes down to, this is the third thing I wanted to talk about, how to really make sure that you have this evergreen funnel of leads coming in at all times. You want to make sure that you're using more than one method of getting leads in. Now, when I say passive, does that mean I don't want you to do them? Of course, I want you to do them, but I don't want that to be the only thing that you're relying on. I want you to do some of the social media because that's how you're getting visibility. I want you to do some of the referrals. Again, those are people that are your mouthpieces. These are your super buyers, your cheerleaders that are telling everybody and their mama about you and how you're the best thing since sliced bread. Of course, I want you to do that. But then I also want you to also go out and find your people too, doing some kind of direct outreach, whether it be, like I said, through email, through a call, through a DM, through a text. You are literally going out and finding your peeps. So if you are interested in learning more about how you can do more market research to filter out the people that you're really looking for through my survey system, comment the word survey down in the comments and I can send that information over to you. I have two methods of giving that to you. I have a free guide where you can kind of learn more about it. Or I also have a DIY course that cuts the learning curve and helps you write a survey in less than an hour. So the choice is yours, whichever one you want to connect with and benefit from. So I'm hoping that what I shared to you provided you value today. And girl, go out and take charge of your business. Take control of your business narrative by finding the people that you want to serve and make a huge impact on them. As always, thanks for watching and bye for now.